Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th Canto, Chapter 17, The Descent of the River Ganges, text 15 to 19. Shukadeva Goswami said, in the tract of land known as Ilavrita Varsha, the only male person is Lord Shiva, the most powerful demigod. Goddess Durga, the wife of Lord Shiva, does not like any man to enter that land. If any foolish man dares to do so, she immediately turns him into a woman. I shall explain this later in the 9th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. In Ilavrita Varsha, Lord Shiva is always encircled by 10 billion maid servants of Goddess Durga who minister to him. The quadruple expansion of the Supreme Lord is composed of Vasudeva, Pradyamna, Aniruddha, and Sankarshana. Sankarshana, the fourth expansion, is certainly transcendental, but because his activities of destruction in the material world are in the mode of ignorance, he is known as Tamasi, the Lord's form in the mode of ignorance. Lord Shiva knows that Sankarshana is the original cause of his own existence, and thus he always meditates upon him in trance by chanting the following mantra. The most powerful Lord Shiva says, O Supreme Personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you in your expansion as Lord Sankarshana. You are the reservoir of all transcendental qualities. Although you are unlimited, you remain unmanifest to the non-devotees. O my Lord, you are the only worshipable person, for you are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the reservoir of all opulences. Your secure lotus feet are the only source of protection for all your devotees, whom you satisfy by manifesting yourself in various forms. O my Lord, you deliver your devotees from the clutches of material existence. Non-devotees, however, remain entangled in material existence by your will. Kindly accept me as your eternal servant. Text 19. We cannot control the force of our anger. Therefore, when we look at material things, we cannot avoid feeling attraction or repulsion for them. But the Supreme Lord is never affected in this way. Although he glances over the material world for the purpose of creating, maintaining, and destroying it, he is not affected even to the slightest degree. Therefore, one who desires to conquer the force of the senses must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he will be victorious. Victorious. So these interesting verses explain about Lord Shiva, where he lives. He lives in the planet known as Ilavrita Varsha. And interestingly, his wife does not allow any man to enter this place. Now we can understand in the material world, wives will say women must not come, but here he's saying a man must not come. So what is the reason for this? You'll have to wait till the 9th canto to understand why this happened. Why Durga said this. Meanwhile, these verses show that the 4 expansions of Supreme Lord, out of them, Sankarshana is the origin of Lord Shiva. He is known as Tamasi, and Lord Shiva is also known as Tamasi. But very clearly we understand that this is because they are performing the work of destruction. That is, Sankarshana doesn't do it himself. From him, Lord Shiva is created, and Lord Shiva performs the work of destruction. Because that is a cycle in the material world. Creation, maintenance, and destruction has to be there. In the spiritual world, there is no such thing required, but in the material world, it's required. So these duties are given to some advanced devotees. And so Lord Shiva kindly accepts this duty of destruction. Therefore, he's called Tamasi, which does not mean he's tamasic. Just like out of the 3 kinds of Puranas, 6 are known as Sattvic, 6 are known as Rajasic, and 6 are known as Tamasic. That is because they cater to those in the mode of goodness, the mode of passion, and the mode of ignorance. It's not that, a spiritual literature like the Puranas can be actually in the material modes, but they cater to the people in those modes. So similarly, Lord Shiva does the work of destruction. They call him Tamasi, but he himself is above this. So the example given elsewhere is of a spider. And so, no. Therefore, Lord Shiva's prayer is that you are beyond this. You are not affected by the material world. We get affected by anger. We get affected by attraction. We get affected by affected by repulsion when we see the material world. But Krishna is not. He just glances over the material world for getting this work done of creation, maintenance, and destruction. But he is not affected even to the slightest degree. Therefore, one who desires to conquer the force of the senses must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord. Then he will be victorious. So, this is, first of all, to wean us away from taking shelter of money or material attachment. These are the two. It is money, attachment to some people in a material way, power. These are the 2-3 main ways by which we hope that we'll be protected. Or being beautiful, being powerful, being famous. We hope that one of these 6 opulences will protect us. The example given elsewhere in the Vedic literature is of a spider in its web. So, everyone has seen the spider in the web, and they know that the web is made of extremely sticky material. And any insect which comes near the web gets stuck, gets entangled. The more it struggles, the more it gets entangled. It keeps on struggling, keeps on getting more and more entangled. The spider is there peacefully sitting on the web. He's waiting and watching. And once the insect gets tired of its struggles, then it casually walks over the web and it consumes the insect. So what can we see? That the spider is not entangled by the stickiness of the web. It just happily and fast, you can clamber along the ladder of the web and it can go anywhere and can do anything, but the other insects cannot. Therefore, if someone is going near a web and if you want to avoid getting entangled in the web, the only way to do is to take shelter of the spider. If you can sit on the back of the spider, then you won't get entangled in the web because the spider doesn't get entangled. So like that, the only person who doesn't get entangled in the spider web of the material energy is Lord Krishna. He does not get entangled by it. Therefore, if we take shelter at his lotus feet, then we will also not get entangled. Now, we have already spoken about how we should not try to take shelter of the web. Those who are taking shelter of name and fame, wealth, beauty, strength, renunciation, all these things, 6 opulences, are taking shelter of the web, spider web. And you know what happens if you take shelter of the web? You'll get stuck in it. So that's exactly what happens. If we take shelter of being beautiful, being famous, being strong, being renounced, being wealthy. What is the 6th one? Being intelligent. If we take shelter of these, then we will get entangled in material energy, just like an insect gets entangled by the spider web if it takes shelter of the web. So please do not take shelter of any of these things. Our only shelter should be Krishna, because he will not get stuck. Therefore, we will not get stuck. We will be victorious if we just take pure shelter of Krishna, have complete faith in him, don't accept material energy as a shelter. We will always be successful. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Thus ends the commentary on the purport of Srila His Holiness A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of ISKCON, to Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, chapter 17, the descent of the river Ganges, text 15 to 19. Next will be the commentary by Her Grace Prema Padmini Devi Dasi. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.